Hey gentle growers, welcome back to Gentle Herb Gardening, where we let nature teach us how to grow better, richer, and more abundant gardens without chemicals or stress. Before we begin, if you haven't subscribed yet, take a second to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon. That way, you'll never miss a chance to uncover the beautiful, natural secrets that make gardening easier and more rewarding. Today's video is all about something that completely changed the way I garden. For years I relied on store-bought fertilizers, pouring them into the soil thinking I was feeding my plants. But one day, I noticed something strange. My plants were growing fast, but the soil was getting weaker every season. Worms disappeared, the texture became sandy, and even when I added more fertilizer, it just didn't feel alive anymore. So I asked myself a big question: what if fertilizer isn't the answer, but the problem? And that's when I discovered something that transformed my entire garden: the living soil trick. Most gardeners, especially beginners, believe that fertilizer is food for plants. But here's the truth: fertilizer isn't real food. It's like giving your plants processed fast food instead of a home-cooked meal. Chemical fertilizers feed the plant directly, but they starve the soil. Over time, this kills the tiny microorganisms that help plants absorb nutrients naturally. Without them, your garden becomes dependent on constant feeding, and the soil turns lifeless. That's why, after years of using fertilizer, my garden started producing less flavor, weaker roots, and dry, dull soil. I wasn't growing plants anymore, I was managing addiction. That's when I decided to stop cold turkey and start building living soil instead. So what is this living soil trick? It's simple but powerful. Instead of feeding your plants, you feed your soil. When your soil is alive, full of worms, microbes, fungi, and organic matter, it becomes a self-sustaining ecosystem. These tiny organisms break down dead leaves, roots, and compost into rich nutrients that your plants can absorb naturally. Here's the step-by-step process I followed to rebuild my soil from the ground up. First, stop all synthetic fertilizers. Let your soil breathe and recover. It may seem slow at first, but honestly, this is where the magic begins. Next, start layering organic matter. Use fallen leaves, dried grass, kitchen scraps, and even old roots. These materials slowly decompose and feed soil microbes. Then add compost, the heart of living soil. Compost introduces beneficial bacteria and fungi that jumpstart the natural nutrient cycle. After that, keep it covered. Bare soil dries out and kills life, so cover it with mulch, straw, or shredded leaves. This keeps moisture in and creates a cozy home for soil organisms. And finally, water gently. Avoid flooding. A light, steady moisture encourages worm tunnels and fungal growth, both vital for healthy roots. After about 4 weeks, I started noticing a big change. My soil began to smell sweet and earthy, a sure sign of microbial activity. Tiny worms returned, fungi webs appeared under the mulch, and my plants started growing stronger, greener, and more resilient, all without a single drop of fertilizer. The biggest surprise: my water usage dropped by nearly 40%. The mulch and compost held moisture better than before, and weeds were fewer because the soil was balanced. By the second month, my vegetables looked healthier than ever. The leaves were darker, the fruits tasted richer, and I could feel the soil crumble softly in my hands. Here's the part most gardeners miss: never pull out your old roots. When you harvest plants, cut the stems at the base and let the roots rot underground. As they decompose, they become natural tunnels for air and water, and honestly, they feed soil fungi that form connections with new plants. This underground network is called the mycorrhizal web, and it's honestly one of the greatest secrets to healthy soil. Ancient farmers understood this. That's why their fields stayed fertile for generations. long before chemical fertilizers existed. Now I rarely fertilize at all. My garden feeds itself, a true living ecosystem. The plants are stronger, the harvests are fuller, and honestly, the garden practically runs on autopilot. Here's what I've learned. Healthy soil grows healthy plants, not the other way around. Fertilizer treats symptoms, but living soil heals the cause. And, when you let nature work, it rewards you endlessly. So, if your plants keep needing more fertilizer to grow, maybe it's time to let go, and let your soil live again. You don't need to spend money on fertilizer to have an abundant garden. All you need is patience, organic matter, and, well, a little faith in nature's rhythm. So try this. Stop feeding your plants and start feeding your soil. Within weeks you'll see the difference, not just in how your garden looks, but in how it feels. If this inspired you, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your fellow gardeners, and subscribe to Gentle Herb Gardening for more peaceful, nature-powered tips every week. Let's grow together, gently, naturally, and in harmony with the earth.